Welcome back, folks. My name's Hassan, and today's a quick little video on the Ulanzi camera cooling fan. Now, I live in Australia, and 6 months ago, or almost 6 months ago, we had summer in December, January. And one of the issues that I faced because of the summer is my Sony ZV-E10, as much as I love it, started heating up. So we had like 30 to 35 degrees Celsius outside, and the indoor temperature was around 18 to 25. And even then, if I had the camera recording for an hour, or even plugged into the computer for an hour, the camera would heat up and turn itself off. And so when I looked up on Amazon, I found this Ulanzi fan. Now, initially I was a bit skeptical because it's just a basic design of just blowing air in the back of the camera, but it did a pretty good job. Partly because the ZV-E10 itself, the Mark I, is not a fairly powerful camera. You're recording at 8-bit 4K at 100 megabits per second, I think, maximum. So it's not a hugely powerful camera, so it doesn't heat up that quickly. So this fan does a good job. Now let's talk about this fan. So now this is a simple plastic body with a spring mount in the back. I believe the first version of this had suction mounts in the back, and I don't even know why they did that because, of course, customers had issues and the fans kept falling off. So they quickly retooled it and added this spring mount in the back, and now it's pretty good, at least for the Sony ZV-E10. At the time of recording this video, if I go to the Amazon listing, on the listing it says it's compatible with Sony, Canon, and Nikon, and it has a bunch of cameras on the list, on the website and on Amazon listing as well. So just make sure that this camera or this fan fits your camera before you actually make the purchase. This has a 200 milliamp hour battery, which, to be honest, I don't have a frame of reference besides phones have like 5,000, 4,000 milliamp hour. How much battery does the fan need? So I've tested this only indoor. I don't take the cameras outside. I don't use it under the sun. I use the cameras year-round, summer or winter. And I've used the fan on the camera whilst recording for an hour and a half. The camera was working throughout this entire time. Now let's talk about the battery here. Right now, as of recording this video, I can't turn this on. And the reason is because the battery died. And just like any electronic device, there's, once the battery dies, you can't use it until you charge it. So all I have to do is just plug it in. But that brings me to the first or the biggest issue with this fan, the phantom draining. If I charge this, I did charge this a few days ago, and I charged it to a full 100% of the 200 milliamp hour capacity. And over the past few days, I wasn't using it, and it slowly drained itself. And I didn't even turn it on. There's no lights on it. There's a tiny LCD, but it wasn't turned on, of course. So for the past few days, it drained the entire battery. Now that could be annoying that if you suddenly need to go for a shoot, or if you want to record a video, like I'm doing right now. I'm recording this on a Sony ZV-E10 Mark I, and I'm taking a risk by not having a fan in the back of the camera. Well, once I wasn't even planning to because I had to show you the fan. But if I was making an actual video, I would be out of a fan. So that is the biggest issue with this. So if you do end up buying this, I will highly recommend plugging the fan with the USB-C port to a power bank or a power brick. And whilst recording, keep the fan plugged in so you don't get any nasty surprises. Because guess what? If you have the fan attached in the back of the camera, and the fan is not working, the camera is going to heat up much more quickly and it will turn itself off much faster because now you're covering the back of the camera with the fan. So that's the biggest, and I think by far the only issue that I have with this fan is the phantom draining. Now, if I had a much more powerful camera like even the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II that can record in 10-bit, and S-Log3. The worst of the bunch would be the Sony ZV-E1 with a ultra thin body, full frame, with practically the Sony FX3 sensor and be able to record at 100 frames per second. This will not cut it. And so a few days ago, I saw that Ulanzi has a version 2 of this fan. So that is a much more sophisticated is the word that I would say. So it's not just blowing air in the back of the camera, it's a much better design. But I have that on order, and I'm going to be talking about that in the next video. But in the meantime, because that fan exists, because there's an upgraded version exists, and not for a hugely different price, I will not recommend this because if I check it right now on Amazon, keep in mind the prices change and these are Australian prices. This fan that I have right now is $59.95 and the upgraded model is $69.95. So for $10 additional, you get a much better cooling system and a 3000 milliamp hour battery instead of 200 that you have here. So yeah, I will not be recommending this fan anymore. If it was like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, where this was the only option, then yeah. Oh, one thing that I forgot to mention, if you have a camera that has a flip-up screen, like the Sony a6600, that's the Sony a6600, by the way, that you're looking at right now, or the Sony a6400, the a6100, any of those old Sony cameras that have a flip-up screen, not gonna work. Not gonna work. This is only good for cameras with the flip-out screen. All of those cameras with the flip-out screen, so where the camera flips out. Oh, and I also forgot to mention that the attachment is pretty straightforward. That's it. You just slide it in and this is what it looks like. I just need to make sure that the camera is in focus. So this is what it looks like when it is attached. It doesn't look that bad and it's okay. Yeah, and it's pretty straightforward to attach. So that's about it. I didn't know what else to talk about this fan. It's a fan, not recommended. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions about this fan or about anything else that you want me to make a video on. And until next time, see ya.